Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackie and I hope you're all having a great day today. So today is going to be another one of my paranormal story times. And this is a story that I honestly thought I told this a long time ago, but I went back through all my videos and I can't find it, but I could have swore that I did tell it, and if I did, it would have been literally one of my first videos ever, which was a long time ago. So I figured, why not tell it, because this is one of my favorite stories. I might have told it before in like a different video, just real quickly went over it, but I just wanted to dedicate a full video to this story because this is honestly the story that completely changed my perspective on all things paranormal. So I'm gonna be telling it to you guys. But before we begin, really quickly, I want to say if you guys have any scary stories of your own, it could be paranormal, ghosts, UFO, alien, scary person, stalker, anything like that, please email them over to me, or you can DM me on Instagram. My email is mackiealbertson21@gmail.com and my Instagram is just Mackie Albertson. So you can send it any way you want, and just let me know if you want me to feature it in a video or if you are just sharing it so that I can read it, and if you would like to be anonymous, or I can leave your @ if you want me to use it in a video. So if you have any stories, go ahead and send them over. I would love to read them. Other than that, let's just get straight into my paranormal story. Okay, so like I said before, this is the story that completely changed my entire outlook on all things paranormal and spiritual and everything like that. All growing up, I was extremely scared of this type of stuff. I was terrified of ghosts and spirits from literally my earliest memory. I was probably like 3 years old, just scared to sleep on my own because of ghosts. And it's weird because my parents, no one ever talked to me about anything spiritual like that ever. So I really don't know where this fear came from in the first place. Like, I don't know how I even knew about spirits and ghosts at such a young age when my family didn't talk about it and didn't really believe in it. So over the past few months, I've really been thinking about that. Like, why have I always been so scared of this from when I was little? Why did I even know this type of stuff was out there? I'm not really sure. It's really weird to me how, I don't know, the whole thing is weird to me. But yeah, I just remember my entire life being extremely scared of this stuff. I never wanted to sleep on my own. From my earliest memory, I wanted my mom to sleep in my room with me, or I wanted to be in her bedroom, sleeping in between my parents, because I was just so scared of the dark and just sleeping on my own in general. And that continued on for years, where I just didn't want to sleep by myself. Literally anyone else could be in the room with me, but I just did not want to be alone. And when I had to be alone, I just didn't sleep. Then as I got older, I remembering more and more stuff happening that was paranormal in my bedroom. And if you're new here, there was always something really bad in this bedroom specifically for some reason. I just remember having really bad nightmares and feeling like someone was watching me, or feeling like someone was about to grab me, and just being really uneasy in my own room. So it was just kind of something I grew up with, this fear for some reason. I always had it, and then in 6th grade, we all know I did the Ouija board in here multiple times, and that just made everything get a million times worse. Which is why you should never do a Ouija board, especially in your own house. I do not recommend it. But from that point on, anytime something would happen, my parents wouldn't believe me. It was just the type thing where I was kind of dealing with it on my own, feeling, seeing, and hearing the stuff that would happen at night. No one believed me. It was just, I was on my own and thought it was my own like crazy fear for some reason, and that I was going crazy. This seriously went on for years, my entire life. Even when I was much older, I'd still be scared of sleeping in this room all by myself. I learned to do it, but it was never easy. Like, I could never just lay down and go to sleep peacefully in this room. I'd almost dread having to go to sleep because that would mean I'd have to be in here all by myself trying to fall asleep, and so it was just a terrible process every night. So the moral of the story is I always believed in spirits and I was terrified of them. So now fast forward to a time when I am I was either 17 or 18, and at the time I was going through a really bad flare-up. If you don't know, I have Crohn's disease, so I was having a really bad flare-up. I was in and out of the hospital so many times within the 3-month span, and I was just losing a bunch of weight and just like not doing okay. And this most recent time I had gotten out of the hospital, I was in there for like 7 days or something, and I was trying all these medications and all this stuff, and nothing could really like break me out of this flare-up. Eventually one of the steroids I was on kicked in enough that they were like confident to let me go home. So I go home, and when I get released, I remember it was nighttime, so I basically just came home and went to sleep. But the next day I wake up, I just hang out at home and take it easy all day, and then sure enough, nighttime rolls around, it's time to go back to bed. And so I try to go to sleep, and like I mentioned before, I've always had an issue trying to fall asleep. It's never just been like, I've never just laid down and gone to sleep. Basically, it always takes me at least an hour to fall asleep, and I'm not a heavy sleeper, nothing like that. So I lay down, I sleep on that side of the bed right there. I don't know if you can really tell, but there's that gap in between my wall and my bed that's about the size of this dresser. So I could easily like walk to the side of the bed right there. Like there's plenty of space. And me personally, I always sleep on my side facing the wall. It's just how I'm most comfortable. So I roll over facing the wall, ready to go to bed. My eyes are closed. I'm laying there for probably about 10 minutes. My mind's still racing, hasn't slowed down at all. To say the least, I'm wide awake, nowhere near falling asleep. So I'm laying there, and I remember feeling like someone is just standing next to me, staring at me. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this, the feeling that someone is just staring at you, and you like turn and look, and they're either are staring at you, or they do like a quick like look away as if they weren't looking at you. So I get that feeling, and I start to get that wave of anxiety and being scared throughout my entire body. My eyes are closed, but then something I like didn't have a choice in this. My eyes just opened. It's like something said, open your eyes. And so I had no power over this. They just shot open, because if it was up to me, there's no way I was opening my eyes. But my eyes shoot open, and I look, and there is a lady standing right next to me, looking down at me, just right next to my bed, standing there like this close to my face. Well, her face wasn't that close, but her body. So I remember sitting there just looking up at her like this, just staring there for probably a good 10 seconds. And I remember all I did was close my eyes for a few more seconds, open them again, and she's still standing there. And the weirdest part, as I'm looking at her, I have like this feeling of just being calm and relaxed, and like almost like a tingly feeling. Like I just felt so relaxed and calm and peaceful. That's the only way to describe it. So the second time I open my eyes and I'm looking at her, probably another 10 or 15 seconds goes by, and I'm just staring up at her, and she's staring down at me. And what do? I just roll over onto my other side, and I go to sleep just like that. And I honestly slept so peaceful that night, and I wake up in the morning, and I'm just kind of laying in bed for a second, and then I realize what had happened the night before, and I'm like, wait, hold on. What happened last night? And I start getting scared, because I'm like, what was that lady last night? I vividly remember that. And then the weirdest part to me was that I wasn't scared in the moment. I was so peaceful in the moment. That's what really started freaking me out, because me especially, I was terrified of all that stuff. So how come when someone was standing next to me, I'm completely peaceful and not scared at all? So I'm sitting there for a little bit on my phone, like trying to wake up completely, and my mom goes walking by my door right here. And as she's walking by, I'm like, wait, come here real quick. And she comes in my room. And I basically say to her, did you come in my room last night and like stand next to me to like check on me? Because I know my mom I know moms do that sometimes to like check on whoever. So I asked her, did you come in here to check on me or for any reason last night? Were you just like standing over me? Oh, and I forgot to mention, this was only at like, this had to have been like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So it wasn't late. And she goes, no, not at all. I didn't go in there whatsoever. And she's like, why? I'm like, oh my gosh. The weirdest thing happened, and it's so creepy and scary, and you're not gonna believe me, but this is what happened. And I told her how this lady was standing next to me, and then I started to describe her to her. And this lady had hair to about right here. It wasn't like curly, it had some wave to it. It just had some wave to it. It wasn't curly, it wasn't straight, there was just some texture to it. And her hair was like a dirty blonde, light brown type color, but more on the brown side. And she's wearing a gray sweatshirt and gray sweatpants. And the way she's standing, her hair was drooped down in her face like that, just looking over me. A white woman, probably in her like mid to late 40s, early 50s. And so I tell my mom all of this, and my mom's like, okay, that is actually insane, because that sounds like you're describing my mom. And my mom's mom died when my mom was only 16, so I never met her or anything, and she like didn't have any pictures of her. My mom ended up living with her aunt from a very young age, so she didn't really have any pictures of her mom whatsoever. So she just didn't really have any pictures of her in general. And I don't know why, but this topic like never really came up about her mom. And so my mom kind of freaks out and says, that sounds just like my mom, like the exact clothes she would wear and everything. So I'm like, okay, this is getting weird now. So my mom was like, hold on, let me go see if I can find a picture. So she runs out, she's gone for a few minutes, she comes back with the only picture she has of her. She brings it up to me and shows me and says, this is my mom. And I said, that is 100% the lady that I saw standing next to me, down to the T. Everything, the clothes, face, hair, everything, the height, all of it. It was the lady in the picture. And I had never seen this picture. I remember seeing one picture of her when I was super little, and she was on a beach wearing a bathing suit and her hair was like up in a ponytail and she had all this makeup on. And that was when I was really little. I don't remember the features or anything. I just remember the concept of the picture. So yeah, I really had no idea what she looked like. So I see the picture and I absolutely freak out. And I was like, what is she doing here? Like, what? Why did I see her mom? This is so random. Like, I've never met her, obviously. Why did I see her? And my mom starts to cry, because that's when she tells me a couple days before she was just really worried about me with all my health conditions and everything going on. So she was talking to her mom saying, please just give me a sign that Mackie's gonna be okay and she's gonna get through this and everything's gonna end up being all right. Please just give me a sign. I really need a sign. Well, a couple days later, that happens. Then I did some more research on it. And that's when I come to find out a lot of times when passed away loved ones come back to visit you, a lot of people report having that really peaceful, calm feeling, as if their loved one is trying to make them feel better or just at ease and let them know, like, hey, you're gonna be all right. This isn't the end. There's more after this. We're all here trying to help you. And so that's kind of like my outlook on it. Like, she wanted to go in and just make me feel peaceful and calm and let me know that I'm not alone. It was just in that moment, it was like a switch flipped. I was no longer scared of any of this stuff. I was actually curious about it. I wanted more stuff to happen to me like that, because it was just like the most comforting feeling I'd ever felt. And it just completely changed everything for me. And not only me, for my mom also, because she believed in this stuff, but not to this extent. Like, she believed, like, yeah, you don't just die and that's it. You die and you go somewhere else. So it just changed both of us completely. And it was honestly just an amazing experience to have. And shortly after that, I did end up getting better, and all my medicines and everything started kicking in, and I was fine in the long run, clearly. Yeah, so that is the time I saw my grandmother that I never met standing over me, and she comforted me in a hard time. Oh, and the other crazy part that just like years later, a couple years later now, that just like really justified it for me. We've talked to a few mediums, a couple of my friends are mediums, and each and every one of them say that my mom's mom is with her all the time. She doesn't leave her side. She's like her guardian angel. They all describe her the exact same way I saw her, and none of these mediums know each other or anything about my mom. So they all describe the exact same thing, just her mom. That's the only spirit they see with her, is her mom. So that's just insane to me, and that really just justified the entire thing in my head for me personally. So yeah, I just want to come on here and tell you guys that story that really changed my outlook on everything spiritual, and to let you know that our loved ones really are with us all the time, even after they pass away, which is insane. I hope you guys did enjoy this story. It's one of my favorites for sure, and sorry if I already told this story. It's hard to keep track of everything, but I just really wanted to go into detail on this one. But if you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. And don't forget to go follow me on all my socials. They're linked right down there. I post every single day on TikTok, so go check me out over there. And don't forget to send over your scary stories, because I want to read them and you could be featured in one of my videos. So send them over. But other than all that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.